So, hallo, herzlich willkommen zu einer weiteren Runde Let's Play Zero Escape, 9 Persons, nee Quatsch, 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors. So, ist wichtig. Ja, wir haben jetzt in der letzten Folge wieder ein Escape Room geschafft, in diesem Fall die Küche. Sehr seltsame Sachen über die Kristallisierung von Glycerin zum Beispiel erfahren. Und Ice 9, was auch immer das mit unserer momentanen Lage zu tun hat. Ja, wir haben 2 Escape Rooms jetzt quasi hinter uns, nachdem wir durch die Tür 4 gegangen sind. Und wir sollten ja jetzt hinter der Absperrung sein, die uns vor den Weg versperrt hat. Und wir haben eine Saturn-Schlüsselkarte gefunden. Also, jetzt geht's weiter. Ich schwenke in den Erzählermodus. A metal grate stretched from wall to wall. Beyond it were 2 elevators and the entrance to the kitchen.
The elevators are over there, so that means...
We went into the kitchen through that door and came out on this side.
That means the map was right.
Looks like.
Then let's use it to plan our next move.
Next move?
Yeah, we need to decide where to go from here, don't we?
He's right. Let's get started.
From the looks of it, there are 4 possible routes. Let's just keep it simple and call them A, B, C, and D. First, A and B.
They both seem to connect to a room that looks L-shaped.
Yeah, there were 2 doors. But they were both locked. We couldn't open them.
Now, Route C. This goes all the way to the main staircase.
That means it's door 5, one of the numbered doors.
Then do you think we would meet up with the other 4 after this hallway?
No, I don't think we will.
Why not?
Look, there by the stairs. See how the gate is opened? When we went into the kitchen, it was closed. But it's open now. What do you think that means?
They opened it.
Most likely.
And if we take Route C, we're going backwards.
That would be pointless.
Then that means...
All 4 looked at the map. They all looked at the staircase, its lazy curve leading down deeper into the ship.
Route D, then.
D it is.
Yup, Route D.
Then we're set.
They jogged down the stairs until they reached the C deck.
Everything looks okay here.
Let's check the next deck just to be sure.
Yeah, just like I thought. D-deck is totally underwater.
Just like the bottom of the central staircase.
The water gazed back at them, its smooth surface like a great mirror.
At least the water level hasn't really changed.
Small comfort.
May as well head back to C deck.
What else is here?
There are 2 elevators over there at the top of the stairs, just like the floor above.
Hold on. These are kind of different. See? There's a card reader on the side.
Another strange mark.
Hey, look! It's Lotus's symbol.
Huh?
See? It's the woman symbol with horns on it. That seems like... Oh, ouch, 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 ouch.
Entschuldigung, da kann ich mein Lachen nicht verkneifen. Ich finde diese Stelle einfach klasse. Es passt super. Lotus had taken hold of Junpei's hair. She began to shake him violently, and he thought he heard a low growl coming from her throat.
What was that about the mark again?
Nothing.
Such violence. Junpei began to wonder if she was not the devil itself. With an uncomfortable smile, Junpei spoke up.
This is a Mercury symbol. The horns symbolize the wings on Hermes' staff.
Hermes, herpes, whatever. If we can't get this thing to work, these elevators aren't going anywhere.
In other words, we need a key card with the Mercury symbol on it.
Probably.
I guess we can't get on then. Let's just disregard the elevators for now.
How about this hallway on the left?
Whoa, there's so many doors.
They weren't sure how many, but certainly enough to be discouraging.
Damn it. If we try and search all these, the sun's gonna go down before we've done half of them.
I think the sun already set.
I have a feeling this ship is the only thing that's going to be going down anytime soon.
That's even worse.
Well, we can come back to this hallway later. Let's check the hallway on the other side, shall we?
Time to head back to the stairs.
To their right was a small hallway.
And now the right hallway.
Quickly they headed into it. It was approximately the same size as the alcove in front of the stairs. The hallway led toward the stern, and at its end was a set of double doors.
There are doors here too. Well, I guess it's just 4 this time.
Let's open them.
All right, let's start with this one.
Junpei nodded and grabbed the one closest to him. He gave it a small tug and felt it move.
Huh, it isn't locked. I'm going to open it.
Thrilled to have found an unlocked door, he threw it open. Junpei didn't know what to make of what he saw.
What?
He simply stood, unable to speak. The others simply stared, open-mouthed. After a few long moments, Santa managed to speak.
What the hell is this? This place is huge.
A massive room stretched out in front of them, more a cavern than a room. Its vastness was oppressive, and it bore down on the 4 companions. It was not empty, however. The entire room was filled with lines upon lines of beds.
Oh, there are beds everywhere.
They were simple things, little more than pipe and thin mattresses.
Is this a hospital?
He had at least been able to put a name to the harsh scent that pervaded the room.
It definitely has the smell.
Could be. I see medicine cabinets and surgical tools.
Hey, look there. The 4 doors at the end.
3 of them were emblazoned with large single-digit numbers made with thick red paint.
The left door says 3. The second door is blank, but the third has a 7. And the rightmost door is 8. There's no doubt. They're numbered doors.
Why is the second door blank? That seems kind of strange, don't you think?
No point worrying about it right now. Let's see if these will open first.
Yes, that sounds like a good plan.
Junpei headed toward the doors, weaving his way between the beds. He started with door 3 on the left and moved to the right until he reached door 8.
Oh, it's no use.
Und sie machen alle dasselbe Geräusch.
Well, of course. If it was that easy to open these doors, what would be the point of the notary game? We have to activate the red, or the numbered doors won't... Wait a minute.
What's wrong?
Look, the display on the red. There's nothing on it.
Huh?
Don't you remember? The red at the central staircase? If no one was inside, it said vacant.
Oh yeah, you're right.
But this one,
There's nothing on it.
right?
I wonder if it's broken.
Only one way to find out.
It's not responding.
All 4 took turns placing their hands over the red, but it refused to respond. They pulled at the lever and still it did nothing. As they soon discovered, it wasn't only the red for door 8 that was behaving strangely.
How about the red on door 7? And door 3?
None of them are working.
What does it mean?
I knew it. They're broken. Zero sure sucks at maintenance.
No, that's impossible. You really think Zero, who prepared all of this, would make such a stupid, simple mistake?
Maybe, but that doesn't explain why this thing ain't working.
It was at that moment that they heard a voice from behind them.
I believe the bottom of the device has been removed.
Och, den kennen wir aber. They spun around to see,
Snake!
but it was more than just Snake.
Ace! Clover! 7!
Although they were glad to see one another, it wasn't terribly surprising that they had. If it had been the other party who'd opened the gate in front of the kitchen, it wasn't unreasonable that they'd bump into one another eventually. The rest of Snake's team, however, did look rather surprised.
How?
How did you guys...
How did you end up here?
That's my line?
Perhaps we should exchange information.
After a moment of silence and surprise, everyone suddenly began to talk, desperate to exchange information. They talked about the rooms they'd been through and how they'd ended up in the same place. Of course, none of it was very useful information, but that hardly mattered. They were happy to simply see one another again. Although the level of cheer varied greatly from person to person, each one of them was wearing some manner of smile. Almost as though they had already forgotten about the death of the 9th man. No, thought Junpei, perhaps that wasn't it. Perhaps the thoughts of his death were what drove them to smile at one another. Not in a morbid or hateful way, no, the 9th man had died, but they were still alive, and that was something to be happy about. A sort of smile, uncomplicated joy. Junpei thought the joy of being alive. Still alive. He felt sorry for the 9th man, but more than anything, Junpei was just happy to be alive.
There you have it. Our half of the story.
His part finished, Ace fell silent. For a moment, Junpei was silent in thought. Then he spoke.
Okay, let me see if I got all this straight. When you guys got here, the bases for the Reds were already gone.
And you looked all over this room, but you couldn't find anything.
So you figured that there might be something in the hallway with all the doors.
So you went and had a look?
Yeah.
And while you were looking around, you heard voices.
Uh-huh. So you followed the voices and came back here.
Indeed. And that was how we found you.
Why don't we check those 3 Reds again, just in case?
You're right. Huh. There's a long, thin gap on the bottom. I think it's a slot for something. Probably electronic.
Well, this isn't good. If the red is inactive, we can't keep going.
Well, what about that hallway over there? Isn't there anywhere else we can go?
No, there isn't. There are plenty more hospital rooms, but nothing else.
Hospital rooms. That's what's behind all those doors?
Yes. There are a number of individual rooms in addition to this large one.
There was a door at the end of the hallway, but it was locked.
There was an astrological symbol engraved near the keyhole, however. I was able to get a good feel of it. I believe it was the symbol of Jupiter.
Not again. Those goddamn things are everywhere.
I wonder what they all mean.
For a moment, everyone was silent, deep in thought. Ich möchte kurz anmerken, was die Symbole des Sonnensystems angeht. Naja, Pluto nicht mehr mitgerechnet, haben wir einen neuen Himmelskörper. Also, oder neuen, nicht Himmelskörper, aber neuen Probanden, wie will man es nennen? Mitglieder des Sonnensystems, also Sonne, Merkur, Venus, Erde, Mars. Moment. Ja, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptun. Damit wären wir jetzt bei den 9. Pluto ist ja offiziell kein Planet mehr. Oder nur noch ein Zwergplanet. Ich finde das schade. Ich mochte Pluto. Also, for a moment everyone was silent, deep in thought.
While we're asking what things mean, what's the deal with this room? I mean, I thought this was a cruise ship, but I can't imagine a cruise ship would have a hospital like this.
Of all people, it was 7 who answered, and with calm confidence.
Well, I figure it's probably a hospital ship. Chances are it's the Gigantic.
The Gigantic?
Junpei looked confused. So did everyone else.
What is this gigantic?
7 knit his brows for a moment, then began to explain.
The Gigantic. She was a sister ship to the Titanic, built in the early 20th century. Actually, the Titanic had 2 sister ships, and they looked exactly the same.
Möchte ich kurz anmerken, stimmt nicht ganz, sie waren ein bisschen anders. Also ich meine auch, dass eine davon nicht Gigantic, sondern ein bisschen anders hieß und es gab sonst noch die Olympic. Aber so ganz genau bin ich mir auch nicht mehr sicher. Aber ist ein Spiel, passt schon.
The Gigantic was said to be one of them. They intended to make her a passenger liner like the Titanic, but World War I began soon after the ship launched. The British Navy took her over and made her a hospital ship. At some point during the war, the Gigantic was damaged by a German mine in the Aegean Sea. She ran aground afterwards, so she didn't end up sunk. What happened to her after that? One theory going around is that a man named Lord Gourdane bought her. Seemed like he'd been one of the few to survive the Titanic sinking. That trauma turned him into some kind of obsessive collector of all things related to the Titanic. Soon enough, the guy wanted the Titanic itself, which was impossible, of course. It's stuck at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. But the Gigantic wasn't. And seeing as she was identical...
So you're saying this Lord Gourdane bought this ship?
Yeah, at least I think I am.
That's impossible. No way we're in some boat that's almost 100 years old.
Pipe down, just pay attention. What, that's it? Well, have you got any proof?
Proof?
Proof that this ship is really the Gigantic.
Well, this ship's got stuff that's like the Titanic and a hospital ship. So, I just figured...
Oh, for goodness. Don't tell me that's your only reason.
No, I've got more.
Like?
Well, I mean...
Seven looked around desperately, doing anything to avoid meeting Lotus's piercing stare. He scratched his head for a moment, then gave up. Finally, he opened his mouth.
I don't know.
Lotus sighed and shook her head.
I guess your memory isn't back yet, is it?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Hey, whoa, wait a minute. Memory isn't back?
Junpei was, he felt, legitimately shocked by what seemed to be new and very important information. Everyone else, however, seemed unimpressed. In fact, they all looked at Junpei as though he had said something very strange.
Yeah?
Your point being?
He decided to revise his attitude for the next question.
Wait, was I the only one that didn't know?
Everyone nodded.
Why?
Oh, yeah, I guess I didn't tell you, huh? I told the rest of them before we ran into you on the stairs. I told them I couldn't remember a damn thing from before I woke up.
What?
Then, almost as if to save Junpei from further embarrassment, a bell began to ring from far away.
Huh. A bell.
It sounds like the clock in the main stairway.
Junpei counted each chime carefully.
10, 11, 12. 12.
It's midnight. Then we've still got 6 hours left, right?
We don't have any time to screw around. Let's get going. We gotta find the missing parts for the Reds.
What do you mean, find? How on earth do you propose we do that?
We've looked everywhere in this room. That only leaves one place to look.
One?
Well, not just one.
Wait. Don't tell me you mean we need to search all of the other rooms.
Don't freak out. We've already searched 4 of them.
4 rooms?
We just have to split up the rest between the 8 of us. If each of us can do 6 rooms apiece, we'll have the other 48 rooms cleared in no time.
There are 48 other rooms?
Her earlier experiences had apparently not encouraged Lotus to trust Seven. Seven scratched his head awkwardly.
Maybe?
Irgendwie sind gerade Sevens Soundfiles nicht so ganz das, was hier steht, aber ist sinngemäß okay.
Alright, so everyone knows which area they're searching?
Yeah.
Yes!
Junpei was chosen to search the rooms on the starboard case, moving from fore to aft.
We'll all meet up when the clock goes off again. How about in that room with all the beds?
Yeah. Sounds straightforward enough.
I'll shout if I find any of the components we need.
I hope we can find them within the time limit.
If we can't, then we'll just have to come up with another plan.
Right.
Then let's do this.
The details decided, they left to begin searching. Out into the hallway they went, each to the rooms they'd been assigned. However, from far away, Junpei heard the bell ring. It did so only once. It was 1 a.m.
It's 1. I better get back to the others.
He jogged through the entrance of the large hospital room to find 6 of the others already there.
Huh?
Ace, Sander, Clover, June, Seven, and Lotus. They had gathered in front of the door number 8. Or perhaps, to be accurate, they had gathered in front of the red next to door number 8.
What are they doing over there?
Had one of them found the missing piece?
What happened, guys?
It was June who answered him.
Jumpy, look!
She was pointing at the red. He pushed through the others until he stood in front of it. Immediately he knew what she meant.
Vacant?
Junpei sighed.
Come on, guys. Who was it? I thought we were supposed to yell if we found it.
Well,
Junpei wondered why she was hesitating. The others looked as confused as June, but kept their mouths shut.
What the hell? What is up with you guys?
They all knew something he didn't, and Junpei wasn't about to leave things that way. Finally, Lotus frowned and spoke.
Well, that's the thing. We don't know.
You don't know?
When I got back, it was already like this. There was no one else here. That means I was the first one back, but the missing parts were already back in the red.
What? Let me see.
Junpei looked at the bottom of the red again, just to make sure. The slot that had been open on the bottom was now covered with metal.
You're right. It's in there. What about the other 2?
They're the same.
Let me take a look.
Junpei quickly examined the other 2 boxes.
It's just as you said.
Satisfied that they were also repaired, but still very confused, he returned to the others.
Alright, I just want to be sure here. Nobody has any idea what the hell happened here, right?
Correct.
none.
Ace and June nodded silently. Seven raised his hands as if to say, "Not me," and Santa had just shrugged. Only Clover lowered her head and did nothing.
Huh. Wait a minute.
That was when he noticed.
Where's Snake?
Ich muss zugeben, als ich beim ersten Spieldurchlauf an dieser Stelle ankam, da ist mir so ein bisschen Kloß im Hals stecken geblieben. Also plötzlich fehlt einfach einer. Junpei swept his eyes across the room a second time, but Snake was nowhere to be seen.
Does that mean that he found them?
I've no idea. There's nothing to suggest it, but nothing to suggest he didn't either.
I don't suppose we'll know until we can ask him in person.
Well, whatever he did or didn't do, he's pretty damn late. What the hell is he up to?
Maybe he's lost.
Yeah, well, that seems likely. Dude can't see. I don't know how he gets around in the first place.
Clover raised her head.
No! That's impossible!
Suddenly she was shouting.
Yeah, my brother's blind, but he's got really great hearing. He can get around as well as anyone who can see. So he couldn't get lost. That's impossible!
Clover had started to shake, and the knuckles of her hands had gone white. She She spun around, but before she did, Junpei noticed tears welling up in her eyes.
I'm gonna go look for him!
The words were barely out of her mouth when she began to run.
Hey, hold on, Clover! Wait!
Junpei cried out to her, but he was too slow. She kept going, and before anyone else could react, she was gone.
Well, that didn't work. Damn it. What should we do now?
Well, the red is working now.
No! We're not leaving two people behind! We should go look for them!
Oh man, this ain't good.
Oh, yes, what an excellent idea. We just wasted a bunch of time looking for some piece of electronic junk. Now let's waste some more by looking for a couple of idiots.
Then remain here if you feel you must, but there's no time. We've only 5 hours left.
Junpei and the others nodded to one another and took off at a run. In front of the stairs that led to B deck, they decided to split up.
Let's split up.
All right, I'll take this direction.
Then I shall look that way.
I'll be over here.
See you all later.
Soon only 2 of them were left. Those 2 were Junpei and June, who had been a few steps behind the others.
All right, we should go too.
Yes, let's go! But where should we start?
Und hier würde ich sagen, diese Folge wird mal nicht ganz so lang. Aber wir hatten diesmal ja auch keinen Escape Room und alles. Und mache ich hier mal einen Schnitt und ich muss auch langsam ins Bett. Tut mir leid. Ich würde sagen, wenn Escape Room drin ist, dann mache ich das auf jeden Fall so, dass ich den gesamten Raum in die Folge packe. Ansonsten werde ich mich eher so an... Ja, eigentlich wollte ich mich eher so an der halben Stunde orientieren, aber ich weiß, wenn ich jetzt anfange, dann wird es wieder viel länger, weil ich weiß, was als nächstes so alles passiert. Und entsprechend mache ich jetzt hier einen Schnitt. Diese Folge ist ein Ticken kürzer, aber sie ist immer über 25 Minuten sogar lang. Macht euch da keine Gedanken. Wir sehen uns beim nächsten Mal wieder. Ich hoffe, ihr habt Spaß. Lasst konstruktive Kritik da, auch wenn ich leider in diesem Projekt nicht drauf eingehen kann. Aber ich kann es zum Beispiel dann... Wobei ich weiß nicht, ob ich dann schon darauf eingehen kann bei Virtue's Last Reward. Also dem zweiten Teil. Den dritten Teil, den gibt es ja schon auf meinem Kanal. Aber ich empfehle allen, die den dritten noch nicht gesehen haben, wartet, bis der zweite hinterhergekommen ist und sowas. Auch wenn es ein bisschen dauert. Der zweite ist nämlich nochmal eine Ecke länger als der erste. Ich glaube, der dritte ist sogar echt der kürzeste Teil. Wobei, nee, der erste. Der erste ist ein Ticken kürzer als der dritte. Und der zweite ist halt nochmal länger. Aber genug davon. Wir sehen uns beim nächsten Mal wieder. Däumchen wie ein Träumchen, um mal kurz LeFloid zu kopieren. Bis dann. Cheerio!